What's up, guys? Just recording another city review for my blog, and I think kind of going in this feeling of like China and my trip 2 years ago. I'm actually going to skip over Xi'an. That was the next city we went to. Xi'an's a huge city in China, and it is really, really cool. I loved staying there, but while I was there, I actually got pretty sick and ended up kind of missing a day of the trip. But in Xi'an, we actually got to go see the Terracotta Warriors, which was awesome. But at the time, I was super sick, like I said earlier, and I was there on the trip, and I barely even wanted to see the Terracotta Warriors, even though I'd wanted to go see them for maybe 6-7 years of my life. And so I will put in pictures of the Terracotta Warriors right here, or wherever the pictures go. But it was an awesome time. Xi'an's not the city that I'm mainly talking about today. The thing we're going to be talking about is Dun Huang. And Dun Huang is actually a super small city. If you're from China, you probably haven't really heard of it. If you're not from like the Gansu province, and if you're from America, you definitely have not heard of it. Dun Huang is a small city outside the Gobi Desert, and it's in the Gansu province. And it was really, really important as far as like the Silk Road goes, and that was the theme of the trip, was following the Silk Road. But Dun Huang was a really, really cool city. I think it has around 200,000 people, so pretty small as far as China goes. As far as like compared to the big cities. But it's a really small desert town and very like navigable. So we were staying at this hotel. That was pretty nice, but then also like the Dun Huang was one of my favorite cities because of how small it was and how walkable it was. It was really one of those times where I got to get out and experience different things, and have my own little adventures because it was so nice. And also because it was desert climate, the air was really dry, and we had to do laundry in our rooms, and the laundry worked really, really well, which is like an underrated thing in international travel. If you're not someone that does it relatively often or has done it in situations like this, but like doing laundry in your room and having it be like actually dry is a big plus. And so while we were in Dun Huang, we got to do some really cool things. Like one of them was going to the Gobi Desert and just seeing some music, like amazing like hiking experience. But then also going to the Human Pass, which is just this big kind of like, it used to be like a checkpoint on the Silk Road as far as like trading goes. So very interesting stuff. But yes, Dun Huang was one of my favorite cities. We also got to go to the Mogao Grottos. Mogao Grottos are basically caves that people built for like protection, and these were people that were Buddhists. And so you have these big grottos, and then they were built for protection, and then you have these grottos inside. But then you also have these huge statues of Buddha, and you can't take pictures of Buddha, like the statues that they have in there. I think I might have, don't judge you on that one. But it was a really, really cool time. And it was really awesome for me. I've always wanted to see a sandstorm, and while we were there in Dun Huang, there was a sandstorm. It wasn't like really, really bad. You could see just fine, but you wanted to make sure you were wearing a mask on those days especially. One thing we also got to do, we got to go to this place called Crescent Lake, and this is in the desert as well. But it's this really, really beautiful lake in the middle of the desert. It's like this little oasis. It looks like it would be like one of those mirages that you would see. But while we were there, we also got to do camel riding. So I have a couple videos from that I'll put somewhere in this video. But that was one of our favorite days for sure. And Dun Huang was a great little city. Like we had a lot of just like stupid fun times, just walking around, finding things to do. Also had some amazing food there. So it was really, really a good time. Like Dun Huang is one of those places that like, as far as like before the trip, whenever you look at the itinerary, you'd never say, oh, Dun Huang, I've heard of that place, I want to go to that place. You're thinking Beijing, Shanghai, maybe Xi'an if you've known about China. But this was one of the places where we really got to connect as like a cohort. But then also, it was just fun to walk around. And one thing that was also really, really funny is in China, we always had KFC no matter where we went. KFC is really good in China and it's really popular. But Dun Huang was one of the places I remember first going to a KFC. So that was huge because it was like, this is delicious and much better than any American KFC. But then it's also like a little taste of home. So it was cool. And so I try to put in some general pictures of Dun Huang because it was a really, really pretty city at night. There was this river across the city. But yeah, I think that's basically it. One thing that was really funny is that we went to one of these stores, kind of like I said in the last video, and there was just a store full of like counterfeit shoes. And so I'll show you a picture, but it looks like this is like basically like a Stan Smith Adidas shoe, and it was kind of just ripped off. So Hopefully you enjoyed this, and the videos and the production made it worth it. But I really love Dun Huang, and I hope if you ever get to go to China someday, you can make a stop in Gansu province and stop by. But that's it. Have a good one. Thank y'all for watching so much.